Motivation feels powerful in the moment, like a sudden burst of energy that pushes you to take action. It can make you feel unstoppable, as if nothing can stand in your way. But the problem with motivation is that it is unpredictable and short-lived. Some days you wake up feeling driven and focused, while other days even the simplest tasks feel heavy. If your progress depends only on how you feel, then your results will always be inconsistent. Discipline, on the other hand, does not rely on emotion. It is built on structure, habits, and commitment. It shows up whether you feel like it or not, and that is what makes it reliable. When you develop discipline, you remove the need to constantly decide whether to act. The decision has already been made in advance, and your job is simply to follow through. This creates a level of consistency that motivation alone can never provide. Think about the times when you felt highly motivated to start something new. Maybe it was a fitness routine, a study plan, or a personal project. In the beginning, everything feels exciting and full of possibility. You put in effort without much resistance because your emotions are supporting your actions. But as soon as that excitement fades, it becomes harder to continue. Without discipline, most people stop at this stage and start searching for motivation again. The cycle of relying on motivation often leads to frustration. You keep starting over, waiting for the right mood or the perfect moment. But that moment rarely lasts long enough to create meaningful progress. Discipline breaks this cycle by shifting your focus from how you feel to what needs to be done. It teaches you to act even when it is inconvenient or uncomfortable. Over time, this builds resilience and strengthens your ability to stay committed. One of the biggest advantages of discipline is that it turns actions into habits. When you repeat a behavior consistently, it becomes automatic. You no longer need to rely on willpower or inspiration to get started. This reduces mental effort and makes it easier to maintain progress. Small actions, repeated daily, can lead to significant results over time. Discipline is what keeps those actions going long after motivation fades. Another important aspect of discipline is that it builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce the belief that you are dependable. This self-trust becomes a powerful foundation for growth. It changes the way you see yourself and increases your confidence in your ability to achieve your goals. Motivation might give you a temporary push, but discipline creates lasting belief in your own consistency. Discipline also helps you manage distractions and stay focused on what truly matters. In a world full of constant interruptions, it is easy to lose track of your priorities. Motivation can be easily influenced by external factors, but discipline creates boundaries. It allows you to protect your time and energy, even when there are more appealing options available. This level of control is essential for making steady progress in any area of life. It is important to understand that discipline is not about being harsh or rigid with yourself. It is about creating systems that support your goals and making choices that align with your long-term vision. This can include setting clear routines, breaking tasks into manageable steps, and removing unnecessary obstacles. When your environment and habits are aligned, discipline becomes easier to maintain. Failure is a part of any journey, and discipline plays a key role in how you respond to it. When you rely on motivation, failure can feel discouraging and may cause you to stop altogether. But with discipline, failure is simply a moment to adjust and continue. You do not base your actions on success or failure alone. You base them on commitment. This mindset allows you to keep moving forward, even when progress is not immediately visible. Another reason discipline is more powerful than motivation is that it creates momentum. Each small action you take builds on the previous one, making it easier to continue. Over time, this momentum reduces resistance and increases efficiency. What once felt difficult starts to feel natural, and your progress begins to accelerate. Motivation might help you start, but discipline is what keeps that momentum going. Discipline also teaches patience, which is essential for long-term success. Motivation often seeks quick results and immediate rewards, which can lead to disappointment when progress is slow. Discipline, however, is focused on the process. It encourages you to stay committed even when results are not yet visible. This patience allows you to build something meaningful and lasting. Your identity is shaped by what you consistently do, not by what you occasionally feel. When you act with discipline, you begin to see yourself as someone who follows through. This shift in identity is powerful because it changes your expectations and behavior. You no longer rely on external motivation to define your actions. Instead, You become someone who takes responsibility and stays consistent regardless of circumstances. It is also worth noting that discipline can actually create motivation over time. When you take action and start seeing progress, it naturally boosts your sense of accomplishment. This creates a positive cycle where your actions generate motivation rather than the other way around. By focusing on discipline first, you create a more stable and sustainable source of motivation. Building discipline takes effort, especially in the beginning. It requires you to push through resistance and stay consistent even when it feels challenging. But the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Like any skill, it improves with repetition. Over time, what once required effort becomes part of your routine, and discipline starts to feel like a natural part of your life. The key is to start small and focus on consistency. You do not need to change everything at once. Choose 1 or 2 habits that align with your goals and commit to them daily. As you build consistency, you can gradually add more. This approach makes discipline manageable and prevents burnout. It allows you to create lasting change without overwhelming yourself. In the end, motivation is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. Discipline is a system, and systems are reliable. When you build your life around discipline, you create a structure that supports your goals regardless of your mood. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start making progress every day. This shift is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who keep starting over. When you embrace discipline, you take control of your actions and your future. You no longer depend on external factors to determine your progress. Instead, you rely on your ability to show up consistently and do the work. Over time, this approach leads to results that motivation alone could never sustain. Discipline becomes the foundation of your success, guiding you forward one step at a time.